I'm Danielle with Bhav Brigade. This is the third of what is going to be many Flow at Home Wednesday classes for your viewing pleasure on our YouTube channel for Bhav Brigade. I don't know if you're viewing this in the morning, in the afternoon, or the evening. So I'm going to make a couple of announcements and we can get into our practice. So first of all, I know the last couple of classes were scheduled at just about an hour. I'm going to make this one just slightly shorter, and that's because we're pairing it with a special feature this week. If you choose to view a second video, I was walking at one of my favorite places where we typically practice outdoors on Wednesday at the pier just past the pagoda near downtown Norfolk. The other day, it was a beautiful sunny day. I was walking one of my dogs and I had my phone with me and I hit record and I turned it into a guided breathing practice. So it's a view of the sunset on the pier, which many of us haven't been able to experience lately. The whole video itself is just about 10 minutes, 11 minutes long. So I encourage you to check that one out. Maybe you choose to do that one first before we get into this practice. Maybe you choose after the physical practice helps calms your body and mind a little bit to view it afterwards. So, however you choose to experience your yoga, that is the goal of yoga, that you are intentional in your breath, in your movement, and in this present moment. So all of our classes right now clearly are online, trying to encourage being healthy and safe and protecting others that might be at a higher risk of COVID-19 so that we can be outside together sooner rather than later, securing everybody's health and safety first. So if you would like to donate, I have donation options available on the description of this video. We're trying to raise money for the Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia and the Eastern Shore. Eventually, I also want to be giving money to local restaurants and organizations such as the Up Center, foster care, and there's been a rise in domestic violence incidences and unfortunately injuries and death because of intimate partner violence while people are stuck at home with violent partners and family members. So we want to try and raise money for those organizations. So you're always welcome to donate on your own to an organization that matters for you. And if you do, I encourage you to comment either to our Facebook or our Instagram or to this YouTube post of where you donated. Otherwise, you're welcome to donate to me and know that 100% of the donations are going to be filtered into these local organizations. I'm Danielle Bhav on Venmo, DanielleBhav, and I have my information for PayPal on our social sites as well if you'd like to donate that way. Okay, we're going to actually begin standing today. Just trying to mix it up a little bit, particularly to accommodate if you are choosing to view the other video first and you're already in your breath. I'll still lead us through breath here, but before we get going into our practice, I have 2 blocks. You're welcome to use blocks if you have them. A closed lid, flat top water bottle might also function as a secure block, or if you've got some sturdy books. I also have a blanket, but when we come back down to sit a little bit later, if you have a pillow, a blanket, a soft towel, anything like that. So let's begin standing at the front of our mats. I'm going to face you from the middle of my mat rather than the front, just for the beginning of this practice, and then I'll wander toward the front of the mat. Wherever you are, I invite you to close the eyes. And with your eyes closed, challenge yourself not to look down at your feet, but to kind of just arriving in your space and making subtle adjustments to kind of move the heels in and out a little bit, maybe in a bit of a Dorothy motion, and then just kind of feel that the heels line up behind the second and third toes. Don't worry, you can open your eyes in a moment if you haven't already and check. But I just want you to feel in your body. I want you to know that where you are at this moment in your body and your breath and your mind and spirit is okay. And that begins with having this sensory experience of really tuning in and paying attention to our bodies. So feel the heels rooted to the earth. Grow tall through the crown of the head as the shoulders come around, back, and down. Activate the fingertips. So rotate the arms open externally. So the palms are facing open away from you. The shoulders come away from the ears. Tailbone orients below you. Create space. You want to step your feet out a little bit wider. Readjust as needed. Feel strong like a mountain. Our first pose of our practice today is Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a couple moments of quiet reflection, acknowledging your connection to the earth, acknowledging your breath, and acknowledging how your body feels. I invite you to bring one palm to the low belly area, one palm to the heart space. Inhale through the nose as the belly expands, the rib cage flares out just a little bit, the chest rises. Exhale through the nose, reverse that movement, the chest drops, ribs pull in, belly pulls in toward the spine. Continue this at your pace. If you want to internally count, that's okay. If you just want to feel it out, that's okay too. But be intentional with your breath. Continue this intentionality, deep belly breaths, but maybe switch the palms. So the other palm comes toward the heart space, other palm comes toward the low belly. Getting back into your rhythm, noticing the lift of the chest, the drop of the shoulders. Couple more rounds. Acknowledge your thoughts as they are. Let them go as you are able to. And as you are ready, bring the palms to the heart space. You can either stack them on top of one another or bring them into a prayer mudra, hand positioning. Readjust the legs if they've gotten a little kind of sluggish. Lift through the kneecaps. Gentle bend in the knees. If it's in your practice to set an intention, whether it's one of gratitude for being able to practice your yoga, or one of loving kindness and compassion for someone who needs it more than you do, I invite you to bring that intention to mind. We'll seal that intention with a round of Om. It's always optional. I'll guide us through a couple deep exhalations. Let all the stale air out first. Inhale through the nose. Sigh it out. Inhale. Inhale for Om. Inhale, flutter the eyes open, reach the arms up overhead, either palms together or bring them shoulder width apart. Let the shoulders come away from the ears. Exhale, palms at the heart space, and then alongside the body. So now go ahead and look down at the feet. I even noticed that my toes are turning out a little bit. That's just natural. My hips want to externally rotate. So sometimes it may feel that you're overly turning the toes in if you have external rotation naturally in the hips. So just pay attention to your body and your needs. My cueings are just that. They're a cue. It's a suggestion. So feel strong in your mountain pose, rooted from the heels, and then rising through the crown of the head. Inhale, reach the arms up, maybe look up. Exhale, palms down through heart center as you fold forward halfway. lift, palms to the shins. Neck is nice and long, so your neck is part of your spine, so we're in that nice upside down L shape. You're just looking down and slightly forward. Exhale, fold. Bring the palms to the hip creases. Keep a gentle bend in the knee as you inhale, hinge up from the hips. Reach the arms up. Exhale, palms at the heart space and alongside the body. This time, circle the arms out and up on an inhale. Exhale, circle the arms out and down as you fold forward. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold with a gentle bend in the knee. This time, rounding on your inhale. Let the neck hang heavy. The head will be the very last thing to rise. Peel up as slowly as is comfortable for you. Reach the arms up. Exhale, palms at the heart space and alongside the body. All right, so I'm going to step to the front of my mat now, and then this would be a good time if you've got your blocks. If not, that's fine. We can always tent the fingertips if we need some extra space. So your choice, when I say reach the arms up overhead, you can either bring the palms up from heart center or you could circle them up and out. I'm going to bring my palms up and down through heart center most often for two reasons. One, I tend to have low back issues, and that just helps me have a little bit more support on my folds down. And the second reason is a space constraint. I have these beautiful yoga books. Notice the lovely chewing selections from my dog Penny, who you may hear in the background at some point because she's actually home today. I didn't take her to daycare. So I'm going to keep my palms in here so that I don't tap the books there. So find the front of your mat, come back to your Tadasana, inhale, arms reach up, exhale, fold it forward. Half lift on your inhale, and as you fold, maybe grab your blocks if you have them, bring them to the highest or the lowest height, whatever's going to be best for you. We want to have a closed chain. We're going to hang in our forward fold for a few breaths. So bend the knees as deeply as needed. I'm going to have a bend in the knee to have a shelf for my torso. My neck is hanging nice and long. With my palms on the blocks, I have a closed chain. And if you don't have blocks, maybe you don't need them. Maybe you have flexibility and mobility that your palms do naturally reach down. For many of us, though, we need this extra support. Whatever you do, do so intentionally. Letting the neck be long. Can you lift through the tailbone, but without locking in the knees? Maybe slowly start to lengthen the legs just a little bit, folding in a little bit more. As you inhale, half lift, maybe the fingertips come to the blocks. Now I'm going to turn my blocks to the medium height, place my palms on them. Exhale, fold again, gentle bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, I'm going to mirror you. Step your right foot back. You're on the ball of your right foot. Left knee stacks on top of the left ankle. Look forward, neck is long. Really activate through the back leg. I'm going to move my blocks back just a little bit. So it all depends on the proportion of our torso length to our arm length. There's no correct way. It's really about finding the alignment that works for your body and your needs. I'm even going to bring the blocks up to the highest height for a moment, just so you can kind of visually see what happens with the blocks is it helps me lift out of that compression into my thigh. And even on the highest height, tenting the fingertips, notice the shoulders can come away from the ears. Just some options that are available to you. I'm going to bring the palms or the blocks back to a medium height. On my next exhale, I'm going to step back to downward facing dog. And yes, I'm in downward facing dog with blocks under my hands. So this may not be for everyone. Notice how that block kind of moved to the side. So remember, this is your practice. Move freely and safely for your body. But using blocks strategically in a flow practice creates some more space, particularly if we round forward and step one of our feet forward, as I'm going to cue. So continue to breathe here. In fact, I didn't cue us yet to start bending one knee at a time. Go ahead and do so. Notice how this feels by having the palms lifted a little bit. And then maybe, it's
It's totally up to you. Maybe you want to find some stillness. Keeping the knees bent a little bit, slowly start to release the heels toward the ground. The goal is a nice long spine. So breathe in here for a moment. And now exhale, release the knees just behind the hips. Take a breath here as you lengthen on the inhale, release the toenails to the ground. Exhale, come halfway down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, bring the big toes together, widen the knees, finding child's pose. And at this point, I'm going to turn the blocks down to the lowest height. And for those of you without blocks, I'm not trying to leave you out of the practice. I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit by being at home and having the benefit of these. So you're just fine without blocks. But here, release the forehead toward the earth. Maybe release the elbows, bring the palms behind you in reverse prayer. That's going to give you a tricep stretch. So I'm going to stop talking for a moment so I can demo the Balasana, or child's pose, with our tricep stretch. Take a couple more breaths here in your child's pose, knowing that this is always available to you if you would like a break during practice. In a moment when I have us up and down dog, know that as always, I usually cue to swing your foot out to the side and then step it up and then wiggle in between your palms. That's still a very accessible way of taking a couple steps. By having the blocks here, you're going to hear me cue it with kind of having more height so that we can step the foot up through the center. That's just an option. So take another breath wherever you are. Then as you are ready, tuck the toes, start to peel the torso off the thighs, but keep the knees deeply bent. And then exhale, lift the hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. So again, in a moment, I'm going to cue us to lengthen through our right leg up behind us, and then swing the right leg out to the right and outside the right palm, and then wiggle it in between the palms. That's always available. But since I have blocks, you'll hear me cue it a different way. So wherever you are, inhale, reach the right leg up behind you. Exhale, and one or more steps, step it up between you. So by having the blocks, I have some space where I was actually able to step the right foot up between the palms without the strain that I typically would without blocks. Look forward. Exhale, and one or more steps. Step your back foot forward, folding in. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold. Coming up, whatever way is best for your body. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Half lift on an inhale, maybe grab your blocks. Exhale, step the left leg back. Look forward on your inhale, create space. We'll take a little bit of breaths here, just to be fair to this side of the body as we did earlier. Kind of bring the blocks up to a highest height for a moment. Kind of notice how that feels. Trying to lift out of that compression between my right thigh and my right hip. Really activate through your back leg, which is your left leg. Lengthen through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to turn my blocks back to the lowest height. It's a little bit more secure for using them for down dog. Palms press into the blocks if you have them. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. You could either choose to find child's pose, stay in down dog for a couple of breaths. Inhale, shift forward. We're in our plank pose, if that's available to you. Hang on for just a breath or two to readjust. Try and puff up through the low back, pulling the belly in toward the spine. Shine the sternum, that breastbone area, slightly forward. Neck is long. Exhale, release the knees just behind the hips. Toenails come to the earth as you shift forward on an inhale. Exhale, come halfway or a quarter way down. Ribs, or the elbows are hugging in tight toward the ribs. Inhale, press the chest forward. Maybe you lift off the kneecaps. A version of upward dog. Release the shoulders away from the ears, pulling the lower ribs in to protect the spine. Inhale, roll over the toes. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, and a long breath out. Inhale, side out. Inhale, side out. Your next inhale, reach the left leg up behind you. Exhale, one or more steps. Step it up between the palms. Look forward on your inhale. Exhale, one or more steps. Step your right foot forward to meet the left, folding in. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold. I'm going to move the blocks out of the way. Coming up, your choice on the inhale. Maybe a bit of an upper back bend. Exhale, palms at the heart space and alongside the body. In Tadasana, close the eyes or gaze softly down the nose. Notice how you feel after a little bit of movement. If the breath has gotten away from you, acknowledge it, bring it back. Come to your intention. I've said this before in other classes, but I don't usually demo so much as I typically teach with verbal cueing. So I appreciate your patience as I take a couple moments for myself for breath as well as water. Stay hydrated. Coming back to Tadasana at the front of your mat if you're not there already. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. We'll do another round. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms press. Step your right foot back to your low lunge. It's up to you if you want to use blocks or not. Look forward on your inhale. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, release the knees. Come halfway or all the way down in one long line. Elbows hugging tight. I'm going to bring my forehead to the earth this time. Moving the blocks out of the way. And then inhale, lift from the back of the ribs. Plug the elbows in toward each other. Nice and long through the spine. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips to heels for a moment. Up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And a long breath out. Inhale, side out. Inhale, reach the right leg up behind you. Exhale, step the right foot up between the palms. And it takes a couple steps. Look forward on your inhale. Exhale, step the left foot forward to meet the right, folding in. Half lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, ride the wave up. Exhale, folding forward for the other side to round out the sun salutation. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, palms pressed up the left foot back to your low lunge. Inhale, look forward to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can find child's pose as needed or hang out here. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, release the knees. Come all the way down in one long line. Toenails to the earth, forehead to the earth. Inhale, peel yourself up from the back body. Elbows hugging tight. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips to heels. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Inhale, side out. Inhale, reach the left toes up behind you. Exhale, step it up between the palms. Look forward on your inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forward to meet the left. Uttanasana, your forward fold. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up. Palms at the heart space. Finding Tadasana. So we're warmed up a little bit. I encourage you to come to the middle of your mat, facing me. So I'm in the middle of my mat, facing the side, and then step the feet wide. So feet are parallel for the moment, just noticing the distance. Before we get into any of our standing postures, reach the arms up. There's no perfect science to the length of your feet, or excuse me, the width of the opening here for our standing poses. Some teachers say that maybe the ankles kind of line up under the wrists. Just feel a nice sturdy foundation. So have the arms reaching out at shoulder height, actively pressing through the fingertips. And on an exhale, turn your right toes toward the front of your mat. Right knee stacks on top of the right ankle. Shoulders stack on top of the hips. You can either gaze at the right thumb, gaze over the torso. We're in our Virabhadrasana 2, our Warrior 2 position. Remember to engage the back arm too. Mine sometimes likes to get a little lazy. I'm human, believe it or not. And so we're kind of heel to heel or heel to arch alignment, depending on what's better for your body. Tailbone elongates down. We don't want to collapse into the arch of your left foot, your back foot. Breathing in, breathing out. We want to pull the lower ribs in. And I am very guilty of sometimes just letting it all hang out. And we want to have space to breathe, but we also want to protect our spine. So there's less work for our lower body to have to do if we're engaging through the core, then everything's kind of working together. On an inhale, lengthen the right leg, reach the right fingertips forward. So you're hinging, and then find that natural spot where it feels comfortable to then let the right palm slide down the right leg, left palm to the left hip. Rotate the hip and shoulders back. Tailbone now is oriented toward your left heel. Inhale, reach the left arm up, gaze up at the left fingertips, and have your forehead above your chin, or you can always choose to look down. Try and rotate the chest up towards the ceiling just a little bit. Keeping that tailbone orienting toward your left heel. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale, look down if you're not already. Use the core. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend into Warrior 2. Inhale, flip the front palm, reach up and back your reverse warrior without pressing into the kneecaps. We really want length through the torso. Then protect your neck. If you need to gaze down, gaze down. Keep an active bend in your right knee. Releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Really pressing into the outer edge of your left foot. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lengthen through the right leg just to give a bit of a break. Reach the arms down. So we don't want to lock out of the knees, but we're in kind of a half triangle pose. That's not really a thing, but again, I'm just trying to give your legs a break for a moment before we find a bit of a flow. So go ahead and take a breath here. Side out. Inhale, bring the arms back up to shoulder height. Exhale, bend into your Warrior 2. And now bend your right elbow, bring your right forearm to your right thigh. And then inhale, reach the left arm up as you turn the palm down. And so your left arm is kind of alongside your left ear. You can either choose to look down or peel the chest up as you look upward. We're an extended side angle, a variation of it. So we're going to flow between this and a reverse warrior in a moment. So take another gentle breath in, side out, making sure that as we flow, we're not collapsing into our right arm. So inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Protect your neck. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. 2 more times. I know you have it in you. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle, one more round. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, coming up, lengthen through the feet, the legs, and then exhale, turn both feet parallel, release the arms by the side body, work out the wiggles a little bit. Maybe just kind of sway the arms from side to side. And now readjust if you've, like me, as much as I love my mat, sometimes it's still kind of slippery no matter how many years I've had it. I have no mat endorsements, I like them all. So come back to your center and then bring the arms back up on an inhale. Exhale, turn your left toes out as you bend through the left knee, and we'll work on that foundation. Shoulders are on top of hips so that you can press into the outer edge of your right foot without collapsing into the right arch. Check your alignment. Can you see your left big toe on the inside of your knee? Choosing to look over your torso if that's better for your neck, or gazing over the left thumb. Try and relax through the base of the neck. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, side out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. As you inhale, lengthen through the left leg as you reach your left arm forward. So we're bringing the hips forward. We're bringing the hips back in space. Hey, I'm still the same old stern. Bring your left palm to your left leg, right palm to your right hip. Rotate the hip back in space. Shoulders are in alignment. Tailbone oriented toward your right heel. And then maybe on an inhale, reach the right fingertips up overhead with the forehead slightly higher than the chin, shining the heart up towards the ceiling, or you can always look down. I encourage you not to lock out of the knees, have a micro bend. Coming back to your breath. Look down if you're not already. Inhale, use the core to rise up. Exhale into warrior two, bend the left elbow, bring the left forearm to the left thigh, reach the right arm up overhead, palm face down, make those adjustments. So you're not collapsing into the left shoulder. One long line from the outer edge of the right foot to the right fingertips. Breathing in, breathing out. Ooh, and we did not do the reverse warrior yet. And for us to be able to do that flow, we're going to do reverse warrior, and then we'll come back and work into the flow. So inhale, coming back up into warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm, coming up and back into your reverse warrior. Lifting through all sides of the torso, not pressing into your back knee. It's just there as kind of a marker. Shoulders away from the ears. I knew I was going to forget something, but don't worry, I remembered. Deep breath in, side out. So inhale, we're going to come into warrior two. Exhale, we're coming into extended side angle, and now we'll find our flow. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Keep the knee bent. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Two more rounds. You have it in you. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Last round. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, coming up, lengthen everything. Exhale, turn the feet parallel. And with airplane arms, inhale, widen through the collarbones, grow tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips, folding forward. And then find your choices forward fold. Since I have a block here, I'm gonna go ahead and bring a block underneath my forehead. So you may wanna bring the feet closer together, you may wanna bring them further apart. Whatever you do, shift the weight of gravity forward so that your hips are more a little bit over the heels and ankles rather than in the back edge of your mat. Well, I guess that would be the side edge. That's right now the back edge. Inhale, lengthen. So come to the fingertips. Gazes down and slightly forward. Exhale, fold. And I'm going to position the block underneath my forehead and bend at the elbows. I have very tight hamstrings. I'm not a runner. It's just naturally how I am after 20 years of yoga. That hasn't changed, and that's okay. So I like to have a block underneath my forehead because it feels a little bit more relaxing. Again, we like to have a closed chain in our forward fold so our neck can be nice and long and not strained. So do what works for you. A couple more breaths. Inhale, bring the palms back underneath the shoulders if they've wandered. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Move any props that might be out of the way. Exhale, palms to the hip creases, gentle bend in the knee. Inhale, hinge up. Exhale, step to the middle of your mat. Close the eyes. Come back to your Tadasana. Come back to your breath. Like me, if you want a sip of water, this would be a good time. Okay, I'm going to encourage you to come to the back of your mat. Feet are about hip width apart, maybe even just a little bit wider. Now, in fact, go ahead and stay where you are. I'm going to face the mat and do a very brief demo, and then I'll practice with you because it's the only fair thing to do with this posture. Those of you that have practiced it with me know what I'm talking about. So in a moment, when I practice with you, I'll come back to the back of my mat. We'll kind of be moving forward together. The palms will be at our hips, and I'll have you lift one foot. We're going to do some point and flex of the foot, and then we're going to step forward to the balls of both feet. We'll bend our knees and reach the arms forward. So we're going to do that a couple of times. So that's what it's going to look like. But I'm going to step to the back of my mat and cue us. So take a bit of a wider stance, but really supported. Palms at the hips. And I'm not going to mirror you on this one. It's just going to make it even more complicated as I watch myself on the screen. But I'm just going to move forward with you. You're going to come to press the weight into your left foot. So take a gentle bend in the right knee as you then lengthen the right leg forward. Start to point and flex the toes. Point and flex the foot, excuse me. And now point the foot, but flex the toes. Press onto the ball of both feet. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Reach the arms forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, bend. Reach the arms forward. Bring the shoulders back on top of the hips. Maybe bend the knees a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step the back foot forward. So now you're kind of in the middle of your mat. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Palms to the hips. Shift your weight into the right foot. Sort of bend the left knee for a moment. And then exhale, reach the left leg out in front of you. Point and flex the foot a couple of times. Breathing in and out with each movement. Now, point the foot, but flex the toes. So the toes are going to kind of lift up. As you exhale, you're actively on the ball of both feet. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend, reach the arms forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend, arms forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Last time. As you exhale, bend the knees, reach the arms forward. Shoulders are on top of the hips. Feel all of that strength and power in your lower body. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step both feet up. Close the eyes for a moment. Feel all that energy that you've cultivated, that you're sending out into the world with your breath and your movement and your intention. And take inventory. With the eyes closed, notice how your body feels, starting with the heels, the feet, up through the knees, hip area, torso, the heart space, the shoulders and the neck, all the way up to the crown of the head. As you're ready, inhale, flutter the eyes open. Turn the feet out a little bit, so the width of your, maybe toward the width of your mat. Bring the palms to the heart space. Exhale, bend the knees so they're kind of lining up between the second and third toes. Maybe you have a medium squat. Maybe you come to a low squat. Speaking of maybe, this is why I love having the block. You might not do this with the water bottle, but if you have a block, you can bring it to the medium or high or low height. And then if you're standing and kind of doing a mid squat, that's fine. If you're doing no squat, that's fine too. Press the palms together. Resist from the outer arms into the inner thighs. Then the shoulders come away from the ears. Particularly if you're on a block like I am, this could be more sustainable, but I know not everybody's on a block. So slowly and gracefully from the comfort of your home practice, release the seat to the earth. Give yourself a nice squeeze. And then come to the middle of your mat. Reach the legs out long. And this is where a blanket or a pillow is nice. I like to prop my hips up just a little bit. I get those tight hamstrings. We're going to come to Dandasana. Inhale, reach the arms up. And if you notice that you're rounding or coming back, can you really lengthen through the torso, but relax the shoulders away from the ears. Now bring the palms just underneath the belly. Lift the belly to create some space. Really press down to the bottom of the legs. Flex through the ankles and the toes here. Exhale, fold forward. Grab what you can. Let the shoulders come away from the ears. Palms come to the thighs, the shins, maybe the toes. Length through the spine. Just find a comfortable forward fold. Bending the knees as needed. That's all right. Sometimes I like to lift in and out, so inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold a little bit. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, hinge up. Exhale, shift the hips forward, remove any props. In fact, I'm actually going to use my blanket as my Shavasana prop. I have some sinus issues sometimes, so I like to have my head propped. So you could do that. If you have blocks or a bolster, you might place them underneath your knees when we get to Shavasana. We're going to do a twist first, but I just wanted you to know that those are there. Create some space so you have room for a twist. I think I'm good here. And then if you want to get a little bit more core work, bend the knees, reach the arms forward, slowly come down. Relax the back of the head, the back body. And now, so the knees are bent, feet stacked underneath the knees for a moment. I'm going to make my way around the plants here. And you could either cactus arms or find arms at a T. These are my husband's beautiful plants, and I don't want to disturb them. So press the feet into the earth to lift the hips a little bit. I'm not going to mirror you. And shift the hips a little bit to the right. Exhale, let the knees fall to the left. Let the gaze rest wherever it is most comfortable for you. And then a gentle stretch along the outer right hip. I'm just going to gaze up, but of course close your eyes if that feels available. Sometimes when I have neck issues, I just like to keep my neck at neutral. So that's what I'm doing today. Do what feels good for you. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, use the core, come back up. So press into the feet, lift the hips a little bit to shift the hips to the left. Exhale, let the knees fall to the right, readjust as needed. Couple more breaths here. And you feel nice and balanced from one side of the twist to the other. Inhale, come back up. We have time for any other postures that you would like to take before I cue us into a Shavasana. Just take a couple moments. Maybe reach the legs up towards the ceiling, kind of a legs up the wall, or in fact, if you are at home. In fact, I'll demo this, but know that if you don't have wall space, that's okay. Legs up the wall is my absolute favorite thing. So I'm going to shimmy my mat up against the wall. Move my blanket out of the way. I'm going to bring one hip to the wall. So readjust as needed. So sometimes if you have a blanket or a pillow, you might bring it underneath your hips, but try and get the hips close. And if you can't get into this, that's okay. But since I'm here, this is definitely going to be my Shavasana. So if you've chosen another posture, go for it. Maybe eventually you extend the legs into Shavasana. Maybe you stay with the legs up the wall here for a little bit. Let the spine be long. In a moment, as I cue us into a Shavasana, I'm going to share my closing greeting and then let you be in Shavasana as long as you would like. So I'll close the recording after I give my closing greeting, but let this practice go on as long as you would like with your Shavasana, knowing that there is a guided breathing practice available online as well. So as you are ready, find what is your most comfortable resting pose. Maybe add on layers if you've cooled off. Add any props. Let the feet splay out if you are lying down. If you have legs up the wall, enjoy it. Release any thoughts that might still be lingering, including the thoughts of the breath. Find your rest. We'll share the chant that I always do at the end of my classes, but I encourage you to stay in your resting as long as you would like. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of our own lives contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. Namaste.